The following program is the work of broadcast students from the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland which were produced over the past week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their instructors.
Today on BCIT Magazine, the BCIT Aerospace campus is closed due to job action. A memorial for an RCMP officer killed in the line of duty. And community gardens are being raided. Hello and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Sana Rangwala. BCIT's 3 staff unions are still looking for a new deal. They want a comparable wage to other university staff and instructors. This Monday, all BCIT campuses were closed because of job action. Support staff at BCIT's Aerospace Technology Center were off the job. That led to their second consecutive day of canceled classes. Jordan Liang has more.
Support staff pickets outside of closed doors here at BCIT's Aerospace Technology Center. The BC Government and Service Employees Union represents the support staff and is demanding a fair deal from the provincial government.
What we're doing here is taking a stand against the government and the discrepancy between a research university and an institute of technology.
As a result of the strike, classes are closed to students, the same trade students that Christy Clark promoted as the future of the province's economy in September.
We want to know that they are getting the best possible training we can offer. And that's what BCIT is doing right here.
But the recent job action has interrupted that training. BCIT staff is not in the classroom to teach their students because contract negotiations with the provincial government haven't been going smoothly. The employees are finding themselves confused. Among those employees is BCIT's bargaining chair, Corey Langford.
Well, it's almost two-sided. We're kind of confused because she has this big job first plan where she's really pushing, get people into the skills trade, help the BC economy grow, and yet at the same time, we can't get our students in because we can't get the faculty into the programs to teach them.
Normally, students are working on planes in this hangar behind me and furthering their education. If the labor dispute continues on much longer, students may have to make up the missed time over the holidays. It also means that trade apprentices that are here just for this semester may have to return again next year to finish the education they've started. Jordan Liang in Richmond for BCIT Magazine.
It's a bounty that almost does grow on trees. A new study has rung in British Columbians' pot purchases at about $500 million each year. It has led to pro-legalization researchers to argue current laws. It means the province is missing an opportunity to harvest tax revenues. Earlier this year, the BC municipalities voted in favor of legalizing the drug. A 60-year-old North Vancouver trucker is facing a minimum of 10 years in American prison. He was convicted in a Seattle court of helping to smuggle marijuana into the U.S. Close to 6,000 people paid respects at a full regimental funeral for an RCMP officer. He died on duty last week. Officers from as far as Washington State and Australia marched in the funeral procession to honor Constable Adrian Oliver. Earlier this week, I filed this report. A sea of red uniformed officers were led by bagpipes at the Langley Event Center. 4,200 officers from all over the world marched in remembrance of a fallen comrade. Friends and family with 3 generations of RCMP members watched as pallbearers carried Constable Adrian Oliver's flag-draped casket. Constable Oliver died last week when his cruiser collided into a truck. Today, the officer was given a full regimental funeral, only one lower than a state funeral. His wife, Constable Sheila Mitchell's voice was filled with emotion when she remembered her husband. The 28-year-old officer joined the RCMP in 2008 only 1 year after his twin brother Benjamin Oliver. This was the 42nd Regimental Funeral in British Columbia. Sana Rangwala in Langley for BCIT Magazine. A BC MP is calling on Ottawa to set aside money to manage debris from the Japanese tsunami. It's expected to wash ashore on the West Coast beaches. New Democrat Peter Julian says Environment Minister Peter Kent has made it clear that no additional money will be made available for debris cleanup. BC Environment Minister Terry Lake has said a very small percentage of debris is expected to wash up on the province's beaches, but it could increase as winter storms batter the coast. Lake said BC and Ottawa have so far put aside $100,000 for debris management, and discussions about the issue that include Japan are continuing. One of the busiest emergency departments in BC will be closed for at least 2 weeks as crews repair damage. It's from a flood caused by a construction accident on Monday. Dirty water poured into the emergency room of Surrey Memorial Hospital after a water main broke. It forced staff to move 25 patients to other parts of the hospital. A temporary urgent care center has been set up at the hospital for now, but ambulances will transport 911 patients to other hospitals until the ER at Surrey Memorial reopens. Coming up on BCIT Magazine, a new commercial farm that operates on a rooftop. And the Vancouver Whitecaps open their first store.
This is me. And my mom and dad. And my big brother Alex. And Jack. This is the day I learned that sandals got their name from sand. That jellyfish aren't made of jelly. That stars don't just come from the sky. That the ocean is bigger than all of us. This is the day we all got to forget I was sick. This was my wish.
The Richmond Community Gardens provide a place for gardeners to enjoy gardening and organic food produce and delicious vegetables. But as Franny Karlinski reports, there is now a concern over people helping themselves to the harvest at Terra Nova Rural Park.
From vegetables to chickens, this garden project is creating a productive space for the Richmond community. But food theft is a growing problem.
You've got this beautiful giant zucchini one day, and you show up to come harvest it to make some zucchini bread or a quiche, and it's gone.
5 years ago, this community garden was fence-free, but these days, many of the 100 plots are surrounded by makeshift barriers.
During times of recession, people become more focused on food. It becomes a priority. Seeing food being grown in public spaces, many people think that that food is just available for free.
Although it's considered a good neighborhood, Dring says 30% of Richmond's population is below the poverty line. The park is also home to the Richmond Sharing Farm, where volunteers grow and harvest fruits and vegetables for neighbors in need.
But I know a number of my neighbors have been affected on a regular basis. It could be because there's a sign which says the Sharing Garden, and that's where they grow food from the food bank. Maybe people see sharing and think they can help themselves.
And this is a split rail fence.
The city is currently opposed to putting up fences.
So there's other mechanisms that can be used. You can be savvy about your planting, so you can put things near the front of your garden or around the boundaries that people don't really want to take or that they don't recognize. Signage is really, really important, particularly signage in either multiple languages or visual signage. Really all we can hope is that the people who are taking food from gardens are people that really need it. And so that helps, I think, to deal with some of the anger and frustration that community gardeners face.
The Richmond Food Security Society hopes people will consider how much the garden means to the community before taking what's not theirs. Franny Karlinski in Richmond for BCIT Magazine.
The city of Vancouver continues to drive towards its goal of North America's greenest city by 2020, and it's made a significant advance in urban food production. Our Matthew Hunt was in downtown Vancouver to see the launch of a commercial farm operating on a rooftop.
In this case, we had an underused parkade, so leasing this for the greenhouse right here in our downtown is a win-win.
The Alteris Verticrop system was unveiled as a local garden became the first farm corporation in North America to produce vegetables at high volume from a downtown rooftop.
We dedicate vast resources and land to cultivation of food, and yet access to healthy, clean food is a concern for many millions of people. From this 6,000 square foot operation, we can grow up to 150,000 pounds of fresh, sustainable produce. Today we have Trevor Bird, executive chef from Fable Restaurant and Top Chef Canada finalist, serving an inaugural salad to commemorate the official opening of Local Garden Vancouver.
They say this product isn't ready yet, but to be honest, for me this is like prime product, and I would want all of this to be like this, but I'm sure it'd be expensive as hell.
I think it's amazing. It's going to help so much.
Elementary students participated in the grand opening of the $2 million facility, and despite the enthusiasm, one concern raised is that urban farming could negatively affect large farms in the Lower Mainland.
This is no substitute for the many farms that supply food for our city, but we need to have both. We need to make sure we're growing what we can, what makes sense to grow within the city, and this is a very innovative approach to growing greens in a whole new way.
Where a parking space once laid vacant is now being used to meet an ambitious goal to put Vancouver on top of a healthier world by 2020. Matthew Hunt in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
With the busy holiday season approaching, shopping malls everywhere will be flocking with customers, including soccer fans. Whitecaps junkies now have a place to go in Burnaby to get all the apparel they need for the holidays and the next season. Carly Babcock has more.
Balls, mugs, and other winter apparel are being stocked in Metrotown's newest store. The Vancouver Whitecaps now have an official place for their fans to pick up merchandise.
I want a 9-game package.
Die-hard Caps fan John Castaneras says although he loves soccer in his hometown team, he came to the store to shop for someone other than himself.
You know, looking to get something for my brother, and his wife's a soccer fanatic, and you know, he's a soccer fanatic too. So I figured, why not just? I saw the ad. I think what's $249 to go catch 9 games?
But there are still a few things Castaneras has his eyes on for himself.
If I could have one thing in the store, oh, you know what? It would have to be a hat. One of their new ones, because the brown ones I don't have. And I got everyone else, and I saw the brown one. I go, hey, I haven't seen that one yet. Hold on here.
Now, although the Whitecaps season ended a few weeks ago, the store is hoping to have increased sales for the holiday season. Jerseys like this and scarves like this are amongst some of the top sellers the store is producing. With the store opening, it just goes to show how much the sport is growing in Vancouver.
I think with the years to come, we're going to see that the Vancouver Whitecaps are going to be one of the predominant teams in Vancouver. I mean, you're seeing kids at all ages now wanting to play, even in the women's soccer, the girls. I think it's growing.
With Whitecaps tickets being at an all-time high this season, it's clear that soccer is a rapidly growing sport in Vancouver. And with the NHL season currently on hold and the Lions season wrapped up, we are seeing more and more of the navy and white on the streets of Vancouver. Carly Babcock in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.
Craft Canada is canceling Hockeyville, its program, and this year it's due to the NHL lockout. The company is going to give $1 million to Hockey Canada affiliated Minor Hockey Association instead. Under the new program, Craft will recognize the top 5 volunteers and award them $100,000. The top 5 volunteers the other 20 volunteers will win $20,000 for their associations. If you have any questions or comments regarding this program, please visit us online at bcit-broadcast.com or bcitbroadcastnews.ca. I'm Sana Rangwala, and that's today's BCIT Magazine. Thanks for watching. We leave you now with a view of the RCMP Memorial.